Hey everyone, I'm Naveed Haque.
Hey babe, do you know when the crypto market's gonna recover?
Let me just check my magical orb. March 25th, 2022, 8:33 p.m. Hey everyone, I'm Naveed Haque. By day, I am a technical seller with IBM, and by night and on weekends, I enjoy making these YouTube videos covering topics on personal finance, crypto, and productivity, and hopefully allowing you to be a bit more efficient in your day-to-day, and hopefully getting it done a little bit faster than I did. With that said, let's get ourselves really level set in terms of the crypto market and really what's happening. And to do that, we really need to understand Bitcoin just a bit more. See, Bitcoin started back in 2009, so it's still fairly a young technology. But given that, we know that it can be fairly promising seeing the valuation of it over time. So if you just entered this ride and started investing into crypto, well, first off, welcome. And secondly, get prepared for lots of ups and downs, as that is the natural cycle of things. But as long as you hold, things generally turn out pretty okay. So don't panic just yet. Like everything, there are moments of growth and there's moments of setbacks. And the reason I say it's a setback is just historically speaking, it seems like Bitcoin always pulls through these bear cycles. And so whichever way it may be right now, just hang on tight because the ride does get better eventually. Okay, now let's get a little bit more of a context behind Bitcoin. See, Bitcoin's the granddaddy of the entire crypto market. And with that said, the total volume or the total market cap of Bitcoin is around $700 billion, which is a lot of money in our personal sense. But when we compare that to like the US stock market, which is 71 times more than Bitcoin, was pretty tiny in that sense. And we know both are being criticized for being manipulated, specifically right now with crypto, just seeing how it's going. But it's also important to note that the stock market can also be manipulated, saying that what we saw with AMC and GameStop just earlier this year. Now, let's talk about bear cycles. Well, a bear cycle is essentially when things are going down, a bull cycle is when things are going up. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what may have caused these things. And a lot of the speculation and discussion has been surrounded around Elon and China, both which I believe play a factor on it, but it's also important to note that that's never really one or two things that really cause things to topple over. See, we just have to understand that when it comes to these things, that there are just natural cycles that occur. However, there are key things that just need to trigger that event to occur. So we've already lived through many bear and bull cycles of Bitcoin at this point, all before Elon or China was involved. So we know that can't be the only element that causes these things to happen. I would generally say that whenever things start getting popular and everyone starts talking about it on the news and your friends talking about it, specifically in the crypto market, that's generally when you know that the bear market is near and things are going to start going the other way. And that's kind of what we saw even with AMC and GameStop. By the time everyone knew about it, things got kind of sus and the rules got changed. So let's talk about some of the causes of what made this happen, right? Well, the major cause of this is that you haven't liked my videos yet. And that can be a problem because then the YouTube algorithm doesn't pick up my videos, and then don't other people get to see it. So you get to see it, but then you don't. And that can be a problem for me. With that said, let's go ahead and move on. So first off, people, right? People are buying crypto a lot more, seeing that more people are talking about it. And generally, a lot of these people don't really know what they're buying because they're following idols or people that they follow like Elon. And like Elvis says, wise men say only fools rush in. And that's generally what happens a lot of times. And that's what gets the market kind of thrown off center. See, with the market being in a bull, everyone wants a slice of the pie. And everyone's rushing in to buy the coins at the run up. And like most things, you never want to buy when it's running up, because psychology will really get the best of you and you'll never end up selling because you convince yourself that the price will go up and up and up and you never sell. Part 2, Elon. So with Elon and Tesla purchasing about $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, definitely generated a lot of buzz and convinced a lot of those people who have never invested into crypto or are dedicated followers of Elon ended up following through with him and buying those shares or buying those coins. Obviously, Elon's 1.5 billion definitely like made an impact on the market, but the bigger impact is the influence he's able to bring by him supporting a certain project. I mean, we saw this with Doge before he even started with Bitcoin. So as fast as he can bring a group of people into a project, he can as quickly as well take things out too, which can be very dangerous. And so when everyone rushed into the market, seeing that Elon bought 1.5 billion, and then when Elon sold the 1.5 billion at a higher price point, all the other people who came after him, being the only reason because Elon was in it, were now unconvinced that this was not something that they want to support. And so that's really is a toppling moment for Bitcoin itself. So number 3, China. See, China often does this thing where it reiterates itself on things that have already happened, and it's kind of like clockwork at this point, especially if you've been in the sphere. See, back in 2017, China essentially said that they banned financial institutions, brokerages, and businesses to give them the ability to offer services that utilize crypto, which means that you can still own Bitcoin, but you just can't spend it like you would with other mainstream currencies, such as your US dollars or the pound. See, this is all to say that China was essentially just giving everyone a reminder about its rule and not necessarily it implementing a new rule that hasn't already been implemented. So what does this all really mean? Well, it means that you should subscribe to my channel. And secondly, where I'm going with this is that this isn't financial advice, but this is just kind of what I've gathered from my friends who've been in this sphere. So what I'm really basing myself on are pretty much like certain truths that I've already know that have occurred, right? So we know that Bitcoin is new. We know Bitcoin's been growing since the day it's been created. We know that Bitcoin goes through these cycles of setbacks and growth, and it always beats the last peak that it had. And so given all of that and my confidence into the project that exists within the crypto, such as Polkadot or many others, I think it's important to note that maybe it's worth putting more of my money and investing into those projects. And so given those reasons, I'm going to make a larger share of my portfolio more on crypto and less on the stock market itself. Now, it can definitely be scary because it is still new for many people. And if it's new for you, I would suggest click on my referral link down below for Voyager. It gives both of us some benefit and some free Bitcoin if you invest about $100 into the market. But if you're just starting off, I would say invest anywhere between 1 to 3% of your total portfolio being in crypto. Because right now, a lot of the prices are obviously in a new floor. And I think given that, it gives you an opportunity to hold on to it for a few years and see the growth it can have potentially, right? And so I think that would be a good way for you to start getting involved with it and start getting more knowledgeable about the crypto market and the different projects that exist. Well, then begs the question, well, what should I buy? Well, that's kind of an answer that everyone will have differently because it's like asking somebody what stocks I should buy. But I think what's important to have is a different mindset when tackling this, right? You have to look at, well, if you're going into a bear market, then you need to know what projects will survive through this. And really when it comes to these projects, is you need to look into the team that's behind the certain coins and if you have confidence in them that they will pull through until the next bull market. So, for me, those are going to be companies like Polkadot or Chainlink that are very valid in my eyes and that are worth investing to because they provide a strong product and a solution to something that may exist currently. And so that's kind of the mindset that you need to have, is like, does this solve a problem that exists? And so I think that's how you're gonna have more of a value there. Now, when it comes to shit coins or meme coins, whether that be Doge or Shiba Inu or whatever, that's more of a bet that you need to make and decide as opposed to finding the answers elsewhere. But those coins in itself are more so not built on the technological solution, but more so the culture in itself, which I think is a really neat thing to study and look into if that's what you're about. Anyway, with all that said, that's kind of the general state of crypto right now. And I hope you're feeling a little less panic about your portfolio if it's completely tanked. And if you're just curious about the market, I think this is the time to enter because things are at a discounted price. Have a little bit of play money essentially that can allow you to participate and learn, whether that increases or decreases in value. But again, this isn't financial advice, just some things that I would just say to a friend. Well, that said, please like and subscribe to this video if you'd like to. It would definitely benefit and help me a lot. Secondly, I got these lights and I hope it helps my glare situation with my glasses compared to my previous videos. So please let me know. I do know I got that a lot in my feedbacks and my comments in my previous videos. So hopefully this helped address it a little bit. All right, peace.